Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Green Room. We've got a great show planned for you tonight, but first, here's a little update on what's been growing on. Until the grow tent is ready, what used to be my office is now my plant room. I have a bunch of things growing, one of which is a tray of microgreens. Last week's episode actually inspired me to try again. So I've got a bunch of different kinds sprouting in here under a grow light with some clay pebbles and water. I've got all of my flower starts for the outdoor garden. I have some of my snapdragons that have sprouted. I've got all of my cosmos back there. These are celosias, and all of those over there are all zinnia varieties, all going in raised beds in soil in my backyard. And I've got some lettuce seeds germinating. We're gonna get a grow tower outside and try some lettuce outside in the next few weeks. I've got some peppers germinating in paper towel, and I've got another germination tool I'm using, trying to germinate some peppers as well. So we'll see how everything goes. Those are for the grow tent, and everything is coming along nicely. 3 more weeks until the grow tent is ready to go. Now it's time to enjoy the show.
All right. Welcome, all you garden enthusiasts and passionate plant people, to the Let's Get Growing show here on the Urban Gardener channel. In fact, it's Monday evening. It's time for the Green Room. And not only is it really, really awesome to have all of you joining with us here tonight, it's awesome to have our amazing co-host with us here. Let's welcome to the show Natalie from the Fresh Princess here with us. Hey, Natalie.
Happy Monday. How's it going?
Happy Monday. Here we are. We're back at it here on the Green Room.
Happy Monday, gardeners. I'm glad you guys are all here, and I'm excited to be here. We've got a great show planned for you tonight. And joining us on the Green Room, we've got Julia Dimakos and
we've got with us as well our very own Shawnee Grows joining with us here as well on the show here tonight. So everybody stay tuned for these amazing and awesome guests. Again, we get to see Shawnee a couple times a month for our Grow What You Eat segment. We also have with us Katrina tonight, showing us a bit about dandelions, some really something interesting for us tonight in Grow What You Eat. So stay tuned for that coming up here in just a few minutes as well too. And
shout out to all of our replay viewers.
Yes.
If you couldn't make it for the live tonight, thanks for taking the time to watch the replay, and let us know in the comments that you were here.
Yes, definitely let us know you're here with us. Also, all of you who are joining with us live tonight, you jump into the chat as well. We also got our roll call coming up here in just a few minutes as well too. So this is where we give you all a shout out here at the beginning of the show. All of you who are joining with us here live. So let us know you're here. Let us know what you got growing on. Let us know all about that. We'll give you a shout out here in just a few minutes as well too. Right on. How have things been going? I'll just say this right now. Everybody knows if they've been following along with us week to week. We skipped a week last week. Unfortunately, I had something come up kind of last minute, and we kind of had to cancel the show. I really apologize, everybody, that we had to miss hanging out with you, because we're just having so much fun here on our Monday evening Green Room shows. And it was a real bummer to have to skip a night last week. So again, sorry everybody. And Natalie, how has things been going now? I usually say this week, but how have the last couple of weeks been going for you?
It's been a productive couple of weeks. So that video that you all saw was from last week, but since then,
That yeah,
things
yeah.
have been growing. I've started all my seeds for the grow tent. Today, I'm officially 2 weeks away from powering up the grow tent and starting my new grow. So I've started all
Hmm.
my seeds. I've dug my 2 extra beds in my outdoor garden, got some new raised beds,
Oh
got
yeah. So you're getting
96,
outdoors too. Just
yeah, got
yes.
96 flower seedlings ready to go and just raising them in my office, like right in front of me right here.
Right, right.
And, and sorry, I'm going on a tangent because I'm
No,
excited.
no. Tell me
Our
all about it. I want to hear all
our
about it.
last episode with Mike from Keep On Growing
Yes, yes.
inspired me to try microgreens again, and I successfully grew them, harvested them,
Oh,
and ate them this week. So
all
I've got
right.
another
That's the
trip
great thing
going.
about microgreens. Since we've already talked to Mike, you've already grown, harvested, and eaten your microgreens. That's what's so
So
awesome about them.
thank you, Mike. You re-inspired me, and I appreciate it.
Yes, indeed. Which kind did you grow?
I did. I took all the bags that I have of Mum's sprouting seeds. They're all variety
Mm,
packs. So some had
okay.
mung
Like mix
beans,
of different stuff.
sesame, mustard, clover, alfalfa, broccoli, broccoli rub, daikon radish. I just put them all in a tray and just
Yeah.
sprouted them
L-
all.
let everything sprout.
But the radish is my favorite for sure. I like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
spice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's great to get that flavor in the mix, right? For
Yeah.
sure.
What about you? It's outdoor season. It's your garden is, I'm sure,
Oh.
taking off, right?
Yeah,
You're
well, well, things are taking off for sure. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Nothing that I've been able to really get out and really plant and do myself, other than some like greens and some lettuces that I planted a couple of varieties, and I think my seed wasn't as very good. That didn't come up, so I'm trying some other ones out there in the back. So that's about all I've gotten done as far as that goes, because I was talking last week about kind of some confidence and like thinking maybe I can start planting things outdoors. I've done a bunch of work, gotten some space ready, so I'm ready to get like some of the tomatoes and peppers. In fact, I got a couple of tomato starts right here on the desk with
nice. What variety are those?
this one here is a yellow, and we've got in honor of our guest we also had not too long ago, Craig LaHoulier. I've got Cherokee purple as well right here too.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Actually,
there we go.
speaking of
Yeah.
Craig, so one of the varieties I'm going to be growing this run for the first time is the Sun Gold cherry tomato because
Yes.
he said that it was his favorite. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, he's tried over 4,000 varieties. If that's his favorite cherry, we're growing the
Right.
Sun
Right.
Gold. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying it this time. We'll see how it
Give it a
is.
shot. Oh man, I've had that one. That one's a really delicious one for sure. It's really great. I'm really excited about it. I got the yellow and this Cherokee from a friend of mine, someone who's been following the channel for many years, lives locally, came by and gave me some starts and stuff. So I was like, right on, pretty excited about that because I had that Cherokee purple in there for sure. Because
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
I
awesome.
didn't get those started with mine that I have over there, but those are a couple of great varieties. But yeah, no, I'd like to get them out and everything. And I was talking about like, okay, I'm pretty confident that it's been warm the last couple of seasons. I've regretted not getting them out early and all of that, but I've been kind of like doing that thing where I'm watching the 10-day forecast. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll wait another day or two and I'll see what it says about 10 days, from there, right? 10 days
Yeah,
from there. And then
play it
finally,
safe because you don't want to
yeah,
lose everything, and you never know. April is it's too tricky. You don't want to mess with April.
yeah, yeah, and literally, it looked like things were okay. It looked like there was gonna be a couple of cooler nights, and I was thinking, okay, I can handle that. I'll go and protect them. I'll cover them, do whatever, pull them in. Some of the other stuff that I have out there, some figs and stuff that I have out there as well. Pull them inside. The citrus trees that I got, these lemons that I got, pull those inside, and we'll be okay. And so I did that. I pulled the citrus in, but I've held off on planting anything outdoors anyways as far as that goes, because these are going to be some pretty cooler nights, and I didn't want to have to worry about it ultimately because it started getting cooler every time I looked at the forecast.
Right.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no, it's getting colder and colder. And then here's the thing, is like you're keeping and hoping that it's wrong, right? We always hope that it's wrong. Well, and this is what I was saying on yesterday's show, is that the forecast was definitely wrong. It was definitely wrong, but it was wrong in the wrong direction. Man, it ended up like, instead of just getting like a frost that I was kind of worried about, we ended up having a freeze, and
Oh,
it
wow.
literally wiped out a bunch of like leaves from my fig trees that are out there. I showed them in the
Oh, no.
video on the Saturday show. Oh, I'm telling you, horrendous. I was so kind of like mortified about like what happened. They'll grow through it, and
Yeah.
grow new leaves and new branches, and in the long run, we'll probably be okay. I was really, really worried though about the peach tree and the pear tree and the apples and all of that, because they're just blossoming and forming their early fruits and everything. And so
It's,
far, they're holding on. I've got my fingers crossed that
yeah.
everything's going to be okay. But that was really kind of
I'm sure they'll be fine, but it's stressful for the
yeah, yeah. And again, I did kind of warn and thought about that, a couple of weeks ago when I was talking on one of the weekend shows about, thinking about getting ahead. But there's always those years where something creeps up on you and ends up hitting you. It wasn't like snow, like what would happen, a couple of years ago, but it was really just couldn't believe the freeze and how cold it got. And those poor leaves were all just shriveled up and everything. It was just, uh, but what do you do? We're just gonna have to hope that everything's okay, especially the fruit trees though. That's really like, I can't imagine losing like a whole like year of growth like on the
Yeah,
peaches or something. I'm just
that
starting to get going
sucks.
on the pears.
Well, that's like when we talked to Josh, was it Josh the plant techie? He said that
Hmm.
he has his trees in containers, and when he has severe weather like that, he just wheels them on a cart into a garage or a closed space because he has so many. It's so risky.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. The one fig tree that I have out there is basically, it looks like it's in a big pot, but it doesn't move. It's a part of the earth anymore. It's grown in. It's there, right? And so I didn't think about it with the other bigger one, because I thought a big enough pot. Again, it was only gonna be a frost. So I was like,
Yeah.
should be okay, because it was a little more cold. It was a pretty cold hardy variety too. So thinking okay, but cold hardy, when you think about it though too, and this is another thing that I wasn't really thinking about as well too, but that's when you're kind of dormant during winter and how cold they
Yeah.
can really handle that dormance. Not when they start sprouting leaves and they start growing fruit and all of that. Cold can really do some damage to them at
It
that point.
happens here all the time. I mean,
Mhm.
just we're still getting the trees are blooming, but we're still getting frost and stuff. So we
Yeah.
just had snow and hail yesterday. So
Oh,
the weather is very erratic right now.
it
Can't
is
get anything.
very erratic.
I
Yeah.
always wait till end of the first week of June is always when it's safe. Like in Canada,
Yeah.
people say May 24th
Yeah.
weekend, which is usually the weekend
Hmm.
before May 24th, but
Yeah.
I still don't trust it.
Yeah, again though too, and I'm just gonna have to wait a little bit, until I can, because that kind of like threw me off my being comfortable when I'm gonna actually do it. So I'm keeping an eye on that forecast. Things seem to be like progressing in the right direction, but I'm gonna wait just a little bit longer just to be sure. And my biggest worry though is that it just flips like a switch from this erratic kind of weather to summertime.
Yeah.
100-degree weather, by, the beginning of June and all of that the last couple of years. And so
Have
that's
you
a real
ever,
hard. You just get these new plants out into the garden and they're just getting started growing. And then next thing you know, the temperatures are so high that they can't really do much of anything. And it just,
I was gonna say, have you ever, hear
I
me out, have you ever considered an indoor garden?
know, right?
Grow
Exactly.
tent, maybe? Can I
I
interest
know.
just kidding. So
I know. I
come
do
over to
got
the
the grow
indoor
tent. I do got
gardening
the grow tent right here.
spot.
I've got to get going, and so I can at least.
There's
But
other
yeah,
stressors, but you don't have to combat Mother Nature. You have to
yeah,
combat yourself, I guess.
that's right. That's right for sure. Right. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you all been jumping in here into the comment section. Let us know that you're here and all of that, because it is time for Roll call. Let's see who we got with us tonight.
My name is Kevin. Yeah. That is my name. Yeah. They call me Kevin. Yeah. Because that's my name. Roll call.
All right. This is roll call time. Roll call time where all of you jump into the comments here. Let us know where you're growing from, somewhere you're from, what you got growing on in your garden, all of that there too. And give you a quick little shout out here on the show. Let's see here if we get this right. We got to definitely first, of course, say hello here at the top of roll call to our good friend and chat facilitator, producer, J-Bot in the chat with us tonight. Join us from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, Canada, in the lee of Lake Huron. Everybody in the audience also keep an eye out for links and information and things like that Jay will drop in for us throughout the show. And if you got any channels or anything as well too, and you want to shout out or anything as well, you can do that too. Jay will drop a link in for everybody too. So do that as well too. So
fellow Ontarian, and we have another Ontarian joining us tonight too. If I'm
we do. We have another one as well in the chat, huh? All right.
South Florida Sunshine Tropicals. Good evening. Fan of Shawnee's and the showing, hopefully coming back in to catch it. My son is still up. Nice. That's awesome.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining. Oh, and also say from sunny South Florida. Right on. We also have with us here, let me see if I can read this one too. Homestead Aquarius. Thanks for joining with us today. Awesome to have you here. Thanks for jumping into the conversation as well too.
Vase Place, Ohio. Chioggia Beats.
Oh, okay. All right.
And purple.
That's what I would go with too, as well. I'm right
sounds
with you.
Great. That's awesome. I'm not a big beet fan, but purple sweet potatoes sound good. Happy growing.
Beets are good if they're right, if they're done right. But I really like adding like young beet greens to like salads and stuff like that as well.
Yes, really good. Or like a roasted beet and goat cheese kind of.
Yeah, absolutely. We also got here in the chats.
Yeah,
we'll see in just a few minutes here for our Grow What You Eat segment coming up here in just a few minutes.
Douglas County, Oregon. Today's Grow What You Eat has an ingredient most of you have. Enoch kind of teased.
Yeah. I think this is going to be interesting. I'm going to be interested to see what you come up with there for sure. This is awesome. Excellent. We also have with us JC Smith in the chat. Cheers, JC. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Thanks for jumping in to the conversation with us.
And Serena. Good to see you, Serena. Happy Monday. Happy gardening.
Yeah. Right on. Let's see here. Also, Hasholio in the chat. So the alien abduction story was just a rumor.
Yeah, I got abducted from another live stream. And now I'm,
this one.
If that's what you're referring
to. Other ones. Yeah. Just being beamed from one place to the next, right?
Exactly. The beauty of the internet. You can be several places within seconds.
That's right. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We also got a little bit of that there too, right? JC, right? Happy 420 tonight.
Yeah.
For all of you out there, food, forest, permaculture, happy 420. Greetings, earthlings and aliens from far off worlds, creatures big and small. Awesome to have you here with us. Thanks for joining with us here tonight.
And we got Adam. Good evening, Adam. Central Point, Oregon. He's your neighbor.
That's right. Just right up the road from me, right here in Southern Oregon. Good friend Adam. Let's see here. So in Terror asking, did I get down to freezing last week? We had 3 days in a row. Yeah, I had 2 nights in a row. One of them was just really caused a lot of damage. Let's just say that in some of the plants and things, especially a lot of the spring flowers that were out as well too. The tulips got just just so it really kind of was a bummer for
Yeah.
that to happen so late,
It'd be
such a freeze
devastating.
like that. I mean, frosts are okay. They overnight, an overnight frost that's an hour or two, that kind of where it's getting at its coldest, really doesn't bother too many things too much. Like even the tomatoes would have had just like maybe some leaf fraying and stuff like that kind of might have happened just a little bit, would have kind of been able to withstand it a bit. But when you get to freezing like that, that's just
Have you seen those videos on Instagram of like for example, they're trying to preserve the cherry blossoms or whatnot from the deep freeze that just happened, and they have these barrels with just propane or fuel, like lighter fluid,
mm-hmm.
and they just set it
Yep.
on fire and just
I
have
know what
like
they call
rows
them,
and
like
rows of
smoke pots of whatever. I'm
garbage
not sure.
cans of fire. Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
to
I
thaw.
live by a bunch of orchards where that's what they do.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
they've got to go and take care of acres and acres of these pots and keep them
Yeah,
going and make sure that all the fires all night long are keeping going to keep
yeah,
them.
it's crazy.
Like, yeah, I think what happened to my plants, was bad. I would keep worry about those folks who like had to stay up all night running those fields
And
doing that.
if their livelihood depends on it, if that's how they make a living, it's it's
Mm-hmm.
challenging.
Mm-hmm. Right on, right on.
We got Kelpie Capers Farm. What's up, Kelpie? Happy Monday. Thank you
Yeah, yeah.
for joining us.
Absolutely. Kelpie says Southwest Washington State and finishing up potting around 1,000 tomato seedlings.
Wow.
1,000.
Yeah, I thought I had a
Yeah,
lot of plants in this room, but
yeah. Lori takes her tomatoes very, very seriously.
yeah,
and
sounds like it. And we got Bowtie Life, Triple G, greetings, global gardeners. I almost have that memorized.
right.
You try saying that 10 times fast.
Exactly, right.
Emerald Coast of Florida in Old Destin. 14 degrees. Oh, so it's cooler today for you guys. Cooler
14
day.
degrees Celsius.
Yeah, it was cold today here. It's been
Yeah.
warm the last week, and today the temperature just dropped, but it'll be going back up in the next couple of days.
Yeah. I'm just kind of at that point where I'm kind of hoping that it's all good and up and all that as well too. So let's see here. We got to get hurrying up here real quick. We got a whole segment to get here before we got our guests on here. Crazy Life Homestead joining us from Mid-South Kentucky. Awesome. Great to have you here with us. We also got let's see here.
Purpose.
Oh yeah.
Dusty Flats made it, just got inside. Welcome.
Moving.
So glad you're here with us.
Yes, awesome. We also got MKP here.
What's up, MK?
Yeah, great to have you here with us. We also got Meg's Edible Landscapes here with us as well tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for jumping into our roll call. It's great to have all of you with us here tonight for this great show and conversation. But before we continue on here, we do have our Grow What You Eat segment. And we've got our good friend Katrina from Sow and Tear joining with us tonight. I hope you all enjoy. Let's see what she's got going on there.
I'm Katrina from Sow and Tear with this week's Grow What You Eat. Now, my garden doesn't have very much in it, so we are going to do some foraging, and it's going to be something most of you have in your yard, and that is dandelions. There's lots of things you can make with dandelions, and we are going to be making dandelion jelly. First things first, we need at least 3 cups of the petals. So, let's get started. So we've left plenty for the bees and got this. So I'm hoping there are 3 cups of petals here. Let's go inside and find out. So this is my mom. She's joining the video. She helped pick as well. And we need to get 3 cups of only petals out of this. The petals are going to be sweeter, more flavorful, more floral, and the greens are going to be more on the green side and bitter. So there's a couple different ways I've seen this, where you grab this and put your thumb here and pull. That worked pretty well. The other way I've seen people do it is to peel off the back. Let's see how that goes. It's less smooth. Alright, so we just did this much. How much is this much? About 3 cups. We're looking for 3 cups packed. I don't know how much we should pack it because we're tired of doing this. How about that much? I pack it down, it goes down to 2 cups about.
Okay.
So
we need 1 more packed cup.
my suggestion to people that are doing this later is to separate as you go, because then you won't have them close up. We were in between rainstorms when harvesting this, so it's better to have it dry. I think the flowers were fairly dry when we collected. So we have a little less than 3 cups because honestly we got tired of doing it. But we have that much. Those are only the blossoms and they are a lot.
4 cups of water to boil.
Alright, it's boiling. I'm going to turn off the heat, put in half of our blossoms, or half of the petals. So that was compacted petal with the heat off.
Steep for 20 minutes.
And lid on. This has been steeping for 20 minutes. And we're putting it through a sieve, retaining the water part. That's what we're going after. I'm going to push this through, or the water through. It smells very vegetable-y. It smells like something that I know that I don't, it's not coming to my brain right now. Almost like a broccoli-ish smell. We've got pretty much all the moisture out. Bring it up to a boil. We're going to put the rest of these in. Stir this in. And heat is off. We're going to set it for 15 minutes. Total of 3 cups. This is the second half. Our 15 minutes are up.
Three cups of the liquid back into the pot.
Alright, that's 3 cups. Actually, it's out of cup right now. So if you have extra, do whatever you want with it. If you don't have enough, use some hot water. And bring this back to a boil with 4.5, yes I said 4.5 cups sugar. Lots of sugar and jelly, guys. 1 package pectin and 2 tablespoons lemon juice. It's important to have that much sugar in there because of the pectin. If you don't have enough sugar, your pectin won't set. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and it will sit at a boil for 1 minute. During that time, it will have a chemical reaction between the sugar and the pectin. It will have that chemical reaction to make it into jelly.
Boil for 1 minute.
Whenever you deal with sugar, you want a much taller pan than you need, because it will foam. So heat off. I have an electric one, so it's going to take a while for this to cool down. Any of the foam, once it settles down, I'm going to skim off. And now's the time to get out this kind of jars, because this is not a canning recipe. This is going to get skimmed. It's completely fine to eat this. It's just kind of funky in the jar. So that is dandelion jelly. It's also called poor man's honey because it tastes very similar to honey. So if you don't have bees, but you have dandelions, you can make honey. Not sure it's as healthy as honey, but it will taste very similar to honey. So we're gonna try these on biscuits on my Sew and Tear channel, so check that out if you would like to see that. And this is a very time-consuming thing. So if you have you know, friends watching a football game, watch a movie, if you have a bunch of kids, you know, that's a good activity for that. It does take a very long time. But you end up with honey. If you didn't have honey and you don't have bees and you don't want to pay for honey, you're pretty cheap honey, you know? Fake honey. The recipe I used was from University of Wyoming Extension Office, and this is important to note that this is not a canning recipe. I'm going to just read you what they have on their website here, and some history. California took this off of the California Extension Office took took their recipe off their website because there was research that went on that they end up pulling it off. So this says, there is no tested or approved canned dandelion jelly recipe. And here are the reasons. Too low in acid. That's not reason number one. Reason number two, the AW, or water activity, level of the recipe is questionable. AW is what controls yeast and mold growth. Number three, concern about the use of pesticides used to control dandelions. I mean, only harvest anything from areas that aren't sprayed. So that's not necessarily a recipe, that's just advice. And then concerns of allergies related to dandelions. Those last two really shouldn't play a role in whether or not it's canned, but definitely too low in acid. And I did an email to these guys, and I haven't got an email back as to, well, why can't you just add more lemon juice or add citrus acid? I don't know. But the water activity, I don't know the science of the water activity, but I do trust that these guys know what they're talking about. So this is a refrigerated recipe. You can also freeze it, or you can just eat it up. I'm going to clean the lids with some vinegar and put the lids on while it's hot. Now, when you put them in jars, make sure you heat up the jars, run them under hot water for a few seconds. That'll be good enough. Because we're not canning these. These are going into the refrigerator or into the freezer or into your friends and neighbors' hands. This is how it turned out. It's not quite thick jelly, but it has some viscousness in there. Little jelly. Not a thick jelly, it's a thin jelly. Somewhat honey-like. It has another flavor. It's really good. It'd be really, really good on a biscuit. Remember, grow what you eat and eat what you grow. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.
Ivory Organic was founded on the gardening concept of whitewashing, simply lightening your plants to better tolerate weather extremes, transplant shock, and so much more. Such a valuable gardening practice that farmers have been doing it since BC times. However, in recent years, most research has been caring for plants and trees using latex and tar-based products which are designed to last 100 years but fall off your plants within 1 to 2 years as your plants grow, contaminating your garden soil indefinitely. Ivory Organic gives organic commercial orchards and backyard growers an organic and healthier alternative. Also, unlike latex and tar-based products, Ivory Organic dries on porous, allowing moisture and nutrients to pass so that your coated surfaces such as grafting wounds and pruned branches will not rot. Ivory Organic has two general categories of whitewash products. The 3-in-1 Plant Guard, which includes 7 natural oils including castor, cinnamon, clove, garlic, peppermint, rosemary, and spearmint, which offer insect and rodent repellent protection, and the whitewash oil-free formula. Both products also have diatomaceous earth in the base ingredients, which naturally offer some insect repellent protection too. As always, keep growing with Ivory Organics, and wishing you all happy gardening.
Why wait for the right season to start your garden when you can grow anything you want all year round? This is my indoor garden where I grow all of my own produce regardless of the season. Aeroponically grown food, pesticide-free, all organic. The mission is to inspire and educate others to do the same. Whether you're limited in space or not, an indoor garden can be your reality. Follow along as I explore all the ways to achieve a successful indoor garden. From aeroponic Dutch buckets to vertical grow towers, I experiment with all kinds of grow mediums and varieties. Let's learn and grow together and reclaim our food sovereignty.
All right. Here we are back at it on the show. Thank you all so much for being here with us tonight here on the Green Room. Right on. How about that? Some dandelion jelly. And it's like honey. This is something I've never tried dandelion jelly before. I did one time for a video go and eat a dandelion out of the yard, though. I will admit that.
I've never tried dandelion. I've never tried. I should. I mean, maybe not the ones in my yard, but
but no, it's very interesting. I would be very interested in trying that jelly for sure. That sounds very good.
Absolutely.
Right on. Real quick, though, I did want to kind of let everybody know what we've been up to this weekend here on the show. On Saturday's show, again, we're here Saturday and Sunday as well, too, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. We had our good friend Gardner Scott joining with us to answer all your gardening questions. Gardner Scott from the Gardner Scott channel, as well as Jamie from the Desert Rat Gardener joined with us as well, too, for our Are You Following Me segment. It was a really fun discussion with them as well, too. On Sunday, we had our book club with our good friend Mr. MBC joining us live for In the Garden and our co-host for the book club. And yesterday we had on with us Emily Murphy, the author of the book Grow Now. And really great book, really great conversation. If you didn't get a chance to check out either one of those shows from this weekend, definitely go back and check those out. Again, we have so much fun here all weekend long, finishing up with this just really awesome, fun conversation we get to have here on the Green Room. I know our guests have been waiting and anticipating in the background right now. So let's go ahead and get this Green Room started.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So let's welcome to the show here with us today. We've got joining us Julia Dimakos, the gardening girl.
Hi, Julia.
Hey, Julia.
Hi.
Great to have you here with us. We also got our very own Shawnee Grows, who you see on some weeks for our Grow What You Eat segment as well, too.
Yes.
Great
What's up, Shawnee?
Gardeners.
Good to see you.
I made it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's Enoch and the ladies tonight. So
That's right. I know it works out this way some nights. It's perfect. It's great. I love it. So definitely great to have you two with us here tonight. For sure. Definitely great to have you back for our new Green Room show, Julia. We've had you on before with our weekend show before, but great to have you here for
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah.
And I see you're a fellow Canadian, fellow Ontarian.
I am. Where are you located?
I'm just outside the city in the GTA, so I'm just outside Toronto in Ontario.
And I'm north of Toronto. In the
Yeah.
That's
awesome. Nice.
Thanks.
So we were just talking about the weather. It was snowing and hailing yesterday. So
we didn't get the hail. We just got a tiny bit of snow where we are, but it's been really cold. But hopefully now, starting tomorrow, things will turn.
I know. I started some work in the outdoor garden this weekend, and then I had to pause because it got so cold today. So we'll see. The rest of the week is supposed to warm up. So
it is. Let's hope it stays. But I don't know. I don't know. I have no hope.
Yeah, promising for the Canadian gardeners. What about you, Shawnee?
We're in the up and down. So we had, was it last week? It was tornado warnings, hail. We went from 80 degrees to a couple nights below freezing. I have asparagus that had already came up, and I went and poked at it today, and it's like translucent and wimpy. So I think it got damaged.
No.
I filmed a video today and I haven't posted it yet. And
No.
we're crawling back up. We're going to be 80 on Wednesday, and then a severe thunderstorm on Thursday, and we go back down because we could still see frost till middle of May is where we're at here in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's like being at a Six Flags. Right?
So it's similar to here, sometimes in May.
Let's ride this out.
So
I'm telling you, I just can't believe what my poor my fig trees. I was just loving, like, we were growing like crazy, and I was like, oh, this is going to be a great year for them this year. Just looking at them and everything, and then we had that freeze a couple of nights in a row, and it just wreaked havoc on them. So, like I said, they'll grow through it. I'm sure we'll get some fruit and all of that later on, but those poor things all shriveled up and everything. Just hey.
I know it hurts your gardener's heart.
Hey.
You should reach out to Phil. Maybe he's got some recuperation tips for
right.
with that happen.
Yeah, I think in the long run, it's just snip off those leaves that were damaged and just kind of let it grow through it, and it's probably, I don't know if there's going to be any like problems with fruiting or anything like that because of it. I wouldn't imagine so. I just kind of unfortunate that it kind of hit it at the time it did, because again, the weather being so up and down, right? I mean, It's been so warm leading up to these freezes that those trees were just putting out leaves like crazy. Like, oh, let's get going. And then to have that happen all of a sudden. The one I'm really worried about, though, is the container fruit trees I have. Like, are they going to hold on to the fruit? Because they're
survival of the fittest.
So far, so good. So, as long as I keep going out there each day, and I'm more and more confident. But the first couple of days, I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. Things could just start falling off of them. Right on. Excellent. Again.
So, should we? Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's do this, right? How about you tell us what we got coming up here for our guests here today?
Oh yeah, we got a little lightning round that we usually do right at the top of the show. Put you in the hot seat. And
I saw that. I saw that on your former show.
You watched one of the former shows.
Did you practice?
And you know what, Shawnee? I'm specifically excited because the first episode of the Green Room that we hadn't had all the details of the lightning round ironed out yet. So I didn't get to put you in the hot seat. So better be ready.
Yeah. There might be a clipboard next to me.
It reminded me of Family Feud, like the last 10 questions. The end of the show. It's like, oh man.
The buzzers and everything, right?
We just like to stress you out. So
great.
Here we go. Absolutely. It is time, everybody, for the lightning round.
You got to do that in real time next time, Enoch. We want to hear you do it in lightning round. Yeah. Right. So
basically what it is, maybe a little tweak there, but not much more different than that, right?
We'll start with Shawnee.
All right, let's see if I can get this right, though. Let's see if I can get this right.
All right, or we can start with Julia.
No, Shawnee's good.
All right. Oh. Come on. Pause. See, sometimes I don't get our clock very right. It just keeps going on.
3 seconds. No.
We're gonna.
He docked 3 seconds.
We're putting that back on the clock.
You should already know
there.
the answers to these.
Back on the clock for sure. Okay, so let's see if we can get this right. Do we get Shawnee in the hot seat?
All right.
For sure. First,
whenever you're ready.
Let's begin.
All right. So let's get the clock started. As soon as it gets going, 10 questions, 1 minute. Here we go. Oh, come on.
All right, let's go. Any minute now. Just kidding. Favorite plant in the garden right now?
Right now? Egyptian
Surprise.
onions?
What's always in your fridge from the garden?
Tomatoes.
First plant you've ever grown?
Oh, the first plant I ever grew? I don't. Well, it would have been a little girl, peas.
Favorite pepper variety?
Oh, I always liked anything that was fully mature, red, and a sweet bell. And I don't know which kind yet I love.
Biggest gardening myth you wish would disappear?
Oh no. Ass?
If you could only grow one edible crop for a whole season, what's your pick?
One edible crop for a whole season? Probably carrots.
Finish this sentence. I knew I was officially a gardener when?
I had a closet full of seeds.
The one tool you didn't think you needed, but you can't live without.
A bucket.
Sorry, what did you say?
A bucket. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's perfect. A bucket.
And we got a couple more. We got 8 out of 10, but we'll ask you the last 2.
Yeah. Most difficult plant.
Yeah, most difficult plant you've ever grown.
Oh, grapes, because they're still dying on me.
And who is your biggest gardening inspiration?
Oh, my mother.
Love that.
Love it. Excellent answer. Your mom's gonna love that for sure. Right on. You made it through it, Shawnee.
It's over.
Great job. It's over. You did awesome.
All right.
Julia,
it's time for Julia's
ready.
turn. Let's see here. I gotta get this clock back here.
First thing that comes to mind, just have fun with it. You got 10 questions, 60 seconds.
Okay, try to think of them.
All right. I feel stressed out now too. Okay.
I know, right? I know sometimes I think it's harder on us as well too. You know, we gotta get this.
Yeah, I gotta read.
Get our questions read out right. I gotta get this clock right.
I'm ready.
There we go. We're all.
My brain is working. Hope my brain is working. Okay.
The best thing is to let it not and just answer.
My brain is hardly ever working, so don't worry about it. You're in good company if it's not.
Okay, I'm ready.
There we go.
Go for it.
Raised beds or containers?
Raised beds.
Most difficult plant you've ever grown?
Cabbage.
Most valuable lesson gardening has taught you?
There are no mistakes, only lessons.
Worst gardening advice you've ever received?
Digging the garden.
The one gardening tool you can't live without?
My dibber.
Ooh.
Biggest gardening inspiration?
Charles Dowding.
Crop you grow every single year?
Garlic.
And easiest plant you've ever grown?
Garlic.
Okay. Oh my god, I got confused. Finish this sentence. I knew I was officially a gardener when?
I couldn't think of anything else during the winter but gardening and growing my own.
Direct sowing seeds or seed starting early?
Seed starting early.
Oh,
yeah,
look at that.
Great job.
You did it. Yeah.
It
was like close. I think she was like at 6 seconds.
They're like
Destin has our record at 8 seconds, but you're like right behind him, like right at 6 seconds.
Yeah,
so
you did a great job.
Good.
I've never had to do that before, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun to, I don't know, it helps open up conversation too for the rest of the chat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent. And we didn't really do this before we started up with that, in fact, though. But what we usually like to do is also give you each a minute or two to kind of, introduce yourselves to everybody and let everybody know, about what you do and your channels and blogs and all that sort of books and all that sort of stuff, because we got an author with us tonight as well too. So how about we go ahead and start with you, Julia?
Okay. I'm Julia Dimakos, and also known as the Gardening Girl, and I've been growing food for 15 years now, and I garden in the Northeast. I have a 7,000 square foot kitchen garden, which is all raised beds, and I also have a greenhouse. I was published in 2022, this book, Tea Gardening for Beginners. That's my book. So I do grow dandelions for tea as well as many things. What else? I love growing my own food, and I start everything from seed. I do a lot of multi-sowing, and it's everything indoors. And I love to help others and teach, and I've done a lot of talks and things like this, interviews, etc. It's really fun. I enjoy it.
That's
How's
awesome.
that?
Congratulations on being published too. That's a huge
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. What about you, Shawnee?
Oh, I'm over there at Shawnee Grows here in Minnesota, and I'm always here for the gardening conversations. I'm completely addicted to gardening. I've been doing this for 8 years. We're here in zone 5A. So if you look at Minnesota, you can kind of figure out where I land when I say 5A. I do have a YouTube channel where we do weekly educational gardening live streams. Sometimes it's focused on a certain topic, sometimes it's a panel discussion, and then we do monthly garden tours in the videos tab. So I actually am not trying to grow food where I live currently. We're renting and I want to be able to move. Now I am going to plant a green stalk because I can't not have something out my kitchen door. I grow a garden 15 minutes away from here, and last year it was 3,700 square feet total of growing space when you add all the blocks together. There's actually a big project going on at the garden, which I haven't revealed yet to the public, but if you follow the channel, you'll find out eventually. And so that space is either going to be more or less this year. We're not sure how it's going to look.
That's awesome. That is a challenge, though. I can't imagine, like for me, I just got to go to my backyard or to my basement for my garden. But 15 minutes away, that's still, what if something goes wrong and you forget something with you, like a tool, an important tool? What do you do?
Yeah, I packed the night before. I usually put a list on my phone of what I need to for sure grab if I don't already have it staged, because I am a mom of 3 and I homeschool. So that does allow, our own schedule on going out there kind of whenever we want. There is a shed there where I can keep things, the bulkier things, the bigger things there. But I travel, I always have seeds in my van, which probably isn't the best place to store seeds always, hot, cold, all that stuff. It kind of gets moved to the next day. Like you said, if I forgot something. Today we went out and planted our second planting of peas. We actually did a first round in March, which we've never done before, but because of the weather happening, we were able to sneak an extra round in to see if it would survive. And so far the peas are this tall. They haven't been damaged. They haven't been chewed on. So we're kind of getting away with it still. Sometimes we get snow in May. So ask me in a month how it's going, right?
Yeah. Okay. We'll circle back in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So Julia, you mentioned 7,000 square feet. Wow.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
I mean, in terms of maintenance, what does that entail? And do you have help?
I don't have help. I don't dig. So because I don't dig, that helps to control weeds. I don't really have a weed problem because when we built the garden, we didn't rototill it or anything. We just layered cardboard and like a landscape fleece type of material, not fabric. And then, we put the beds on top and we filled them with soil, and I started growing. I didn't really get weeds. I also plant really intensively, so it doesn't really leave a lot of gaps for weeds to germinate on the soil. Everything's just kind of really tight. And if there are any weeds, they're easy to remove because I don't dig. So the soil is nice and loamy. Yeah, but they're in a French kitchen garden kind of configuration. There's a she shed. And so it's not just rows. It's kind of has a pattern, and it's really easily workable that way. And the way that I plant, and the way that I work my soil, it's not a lot of maintenance. Like the big job is planting it, and then the rest of it just kind of takes care of itself, and I water occasionally and everything just works out. So.
And did you design everything yourself? Because I've seen your garden. It's beautiful. Did you design everything yourself? Wow.
Yes. So, with the help of a good friend, we designed the beds. And then, in terms of the design was like a combined effort, and the rest of it in terms of what I grow, what I plant, how I plant is all me. Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't seen your garden, Julia. Is the pathways something you mow? Is it rock? Is it wood chip?
No. So if you go to @Julia Dimakos on Instagram, you can see it's pinned under the posts. And
links for all of that right down below for anybody watching too.
Thank you.
And I'm sure Jay will get some in this chat too.
It's just arborist wood chips between the beds. So because we didn't rototill. So my garden was in stages. The first 2,000 square feet, we had rototilled and put down beds, and it became a disaster. So many weeds came through and the grass came through, and it was a nightmare. So after that, when we extended the garden, we didn't rototill, and so whatever we put down, the cardboard and the layers, killed all the weeds and the grass, and they never came through. And so now when weeds settle in through the top, they're really easy to pull out because it's a really thick, like arborist wood chip layer, and they just slide out. It's never been an issue since. So the big project we're doing next month is rebuilding the original section. So that's going to be, I haven't posted anything about it yet, but that's the big project, big thing that's going to be happening this spring. So I'm excited about that. But again, we'll do the same thing. No rototilling, just layers, and put the beds down and go from there.
Yeah. See, I have raised beds. I was working on my outdoor garden this weekend, and I have raised beds. And I mean, I guess I don't have too many weeds, but I dig a little bit just to remove the grass, and then I add my raised beds with dirt, and I guess I still have issues with weeds. So I guess the trick to that would be don't do that. Put down cardboard. And is there a specific name for this type of fleece that you use? Or?
So it's like I would say like it's like a weed barrier. So I think arborists use it for trees. It's really thick and it feels like fleece. It's soft. It's cool. Not as opposed to landscape fabric, which is like a plastic that's woven.
Yeah, that's what
will go through it, and then it shreds over time. But that's what we used in the original section, and it's a disaster. And that the new product doesn't tear, but it's soft and it's breathable. Roots can go through it, and and if you layer instead of remove weeds, remove grass, cut it off, it'll, like, all we did was mow the lawn and put down everything, and it killed it. It didn't take long either. Within a month, 2 months, it was all dead.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you have full control. Whereas I guess Shawnee, because you're in I guess it's a community garden, right? Where you have an allotment in a community garden, or is it a property that you have?
It's private property that I don't own. I'm the only gardener there. So.
It's lent out to you.
Yeah. What kind of challenges do you experience having to kind of share a space, or you have to trust that other people are going to maintain their weeds and their stuff so that your garden isn't affected, right?
I have to have everything approved by the property owner. So where I was putting perennials, for example, needed to be an agreed upon conversation. If there's no fences on anything, not one of the beds, it's all in ground, have any kind of structure around them, because we couldn't really agree on something. That can be a battle, but when you grow this much, it's like, okay, well, they took the first round, I get the second round. The thing that's been sort of a frustrating thing for me is the tillable land that touches the property is not organic, but the tillable land across the road is. So anytime they're doing anything in the field, it can affect some of my food and my trees, and I have to go in and wash everything off, or have barriers. Like, we have evergreen trees planted to try and block as much as we can. We've had actual conversations with the people that are renting that tillable land to see if they could switch. That's more of the battle, is the farmland coming in at me, the pests, the things they're spraying, which direction the wind is blowing, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is a challenge for sure. Yeah. So you're constantly having to battle that.
Yeah, I'm cleaning stuff out when you have corn cobs blowing in. Right now it's turkey feathers because they're doing manure applications. There's turkey feathers everywhere, which isn't a bad thing. It's just, it's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Oh man, that'd be something there. But again, too, utilizing, something that I always recommend to people too, when it comes down to space, there's folks out there who, living in apartments or places where, again, they're very limited on where they can grow. You can find neighbors and friends and people, around you who've got some space that'll be perfectly willing to share that land with you, for maybe, and that's what you said you do, right, Shawnee, is that you share in what you grow with them in order to kind of rent the space in a way.
Yeah, I don't pay them money, It's more of
Hmm.
a, what do you want me to grow for you? There's actually 3 households that are allowed to shop the grocery row gardens, but I'm the
Yeah.
only one that is planting or deciding the decisions with the layout of everything. And then the kids now, we're doing a lot more gardening with my children. We're actually trialing a curriculum called Dirt Academy Kids. That's been really fun. We just got our books the other day to kind of walk them through, how do you think about a garden? How do you plan your garden? And now they're going to pick out a spot, and they're going to be in charge of their spot for the year. So that'll be fun to watch.
That is so cool.
Mhm.
I love that. I love when kids get involved with that kind of stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm my oldest. Well, all my kids they've been held on me while watering the garden because I started gardening 8 years ago when they all started to, come into my
Yeah.
life. So that's why I
Yeah.
became a gardener. It was the mom brain turned on and went, we're growing food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was
Mm.
gonna ask what kind of got you both started into gardening. So I guess Shawnee, for you, becoming a parent or kind
Yep.
of taking on that role of gotta grow food for the family, keep it
Yeah, I don't
clean.
know. There was some chemical hormonal change, and
Mhm.
before my first child was born, we had scrounged up anything for free on the side of the road. We had when you plant trees that's in a bucket thing, planter. We were getting those for free from people. We were drilling holes in 5-gallon buckets. We bought potting soil. Then we started building raised beds, either wood or rock. And then now I grow 3,000 square feet in the ground. So it's really blown up over the years.
Yeah, that
Gardening
escalated
takes
quickly.
over. It takes over. Yeah. Once you
Yeah.
catch
And
on, once you figure it out.
what about you, Julia? What kind of got you started, or what was your driving factor behind getting started in the gardening world?
So mine was similar. I had kids, and
Mhm.
I had two, and they were a year and a half apart when I had my second one. And he was about a year old. He had a really picky palate. He wouldn't eat vegetables. He only ate was pasta with butter. And then I also started discovering GMO foods, and I became worried that they would be eating genetically modified food. And I had no gardening experience. I grew up in the city. So I thought, well, if I'm going to be able to, if I grow my own food, at least I can control what my kids eat. And maybe my son will try something. And so my first
Mhm.
garden was just a tiny little space in my old house. And yeah, I started growing it from that. And he ate carrots out of the garden, and he wouldn't even let me wash them. He would just like wipe them and eat them. And that's how it started. But my kids don't help me in the garden ever.
No.
So it's just me. If they're not interested, they don't mind the food. And
Yeah,
today
they
my
just like
son,
to consume the rewards. That's
yeah,
it.
and my son still doesn't eat vegetables, not really. So he's
Oh
still just
man.
he's
Yeah.
a meat eater. But
Right.
anyway, I do it regardless. Probably more for myself than anything.
So with all that
Um,
space, do you have chickens or anything, or?
I used to. So I used
Yeah.
to have chickens. I had them for about 6 years, but because of
mm,
where we have like a large property and it's open, and in the winter time it's really harsh. My chickens were outdoor chickens in a electric fenced area, and then we
yeah.
had a couple of hawk attacks. In the winter time, I would lock them up because of the hawks. In the summertime, the crows would come out and they would fight off hawks, and so I would have like more security to let the
Mhm.
chickens in their area. But as soon as the crows disappeared, the hawks would come. So they got two chickens. And then it was COVID, and it was just really tiring to worry about them all the time. And then at that time, all I had was silkies, which were the prettiest ones, but they don't really lay eggs. They just are pretty, and they are broody on an empty nest. So that was it. It was hard to get more chickens at that time because it was COVID. And I thought, you know what? I'm done. Like, that's it. So I tried
Yeah.
for 6 years, and then I took their coop and we converted it to a tool shed. So I have that outside the garden, and that's worked out great.
There's a
So
purpose for everything. More space for gardening
Right.
toys and tools.
exactly.
That's right. That's right. As long as it's a nice exchange, right?
Right.
I'm
So I
excited. We
got my
got
chicken.
chickens for the first time this year. It's not me, but my neighbors do. So there's chickens running around back there, which is really kind of fun and
That's
different. I've been
cool.
wanting to do that for a while myself, but I get to kind of live my chicken aspirations through my neighbors now. So it's really great. So
It was really fun. It was really fun to have them, and I love the eggs.
hmm
But once I wanted just to get the silkies. I wanted the pretty ones. The pretty ones stopped laying eggs, so then I was just feeding them organic food, and I wasn't getting anything. So I thought, what am I doing this for?
More
And
mouths
plus,
to
Right.
feed.
more mouths to feed.
Yeah,
Get
that
nothing
don't
out of
help
it.
around.
And just worry all the time about the hawks. I just thought, you know what, we're done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So myself, I'm an indoor grower and I rely a lot on automation. Do either of you, having outdoor gardens, do you either of you rely on any kind of automation or drip systems or anything? Shawnee, because you're far, do you automate anything?
Nope. It's just we have a good amount of rainfall here up until about September. Like June is a really wet month, which is really good for us because we can plant all the warm stuff then in June. I'm still running a hose around the property off of a well. We talked about either getting a tank on the tractor and driving the tractor with the tank and a wand to water everything because then I could put nutrients in it. Didn't happen. And we talked about actually trenching another hydrant closer to where gardens are. That didn't happen either. So hoses by hand, setting up a sprinkler. I might set up wobblers or something this year. I don't know what I'm going to do.
What is a wobbler?
It's like a stand, and then it has the water that comes out.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a name for it.
Yeah. Right now I have like the kids want to run through it all the time thing. The rainbowy, like,
yeah,
I got one of those. Real high tech.
What about you, Julia? Do you have any?
Nothing. I have nothing. I have lots of water in the garden, and so we have the garden is far from my house, so it's about 800 feet, I believe, from the house. So, you know, I take a vehicle to get there when I'm harvesting or bringing things. Like I have like a farm vehicle, but there's a lot of faucets everywhere, so I have easy access to water, and I just water with a watering wand and a hose, and that's it. And it's complicated to set up drip irrigation because of the structure, the shape of the garden, the L-shaped beds, and all the different beds in there. It's hard to, and pricey to get someone to put that down for me. So instead I plant in a way that does not require a lot of water. So
everything by hand.
Do you capture rainwater, Julia?
I have one barrel. For some reason, it doesn't hold the water. It fills and then it drains itself. It doesn't work right. Yeah. So I don't.
That's some sort of leak somewhere, huh?
It must be a leak somewhere, but it doesn't show. But the way that the garden is 80 by 90 feet, so it would still be hard to drag a hose from that spot or something to be able to get the water. And if I was to try to water by watering can, it would take forever. So the watering wand and hose just works fine. I sometimes like if something is dry, I just turn it down really low and I just lay it on the bed and I do something else, come back, move it around, and that works because I spend a lot of time there sometimes. So that works. But it really only needs water during planting time, I find. Then the rest of the season just sorts itself out.
Yeah, I got a couple of rain tanks, but they only, for me, in my region, there's a point when the rain stops, the rain tanks are full, and then we don't see rain for months. And I go through those tanks real quick and they're done. And then, and that sort of thing. So I only get so much out of them unless I had some bigger, like, what is this comment here, right here, 275 gallon water tank. Now that would be kind of cool if I was collecting rain to be able to have something with that kind of capacity. But yeah, again, I wish I could have automation though. To kind of answer the question for myself as well, because it's so more, we're in a different climate, where everything's just so much hotter and warmer. Plus my small space garden is tons of containers and elevated raised beds and things that can dry out so fast. I got to be out there every day, sometimes twice a day at the hottest parts of summer, sometimes just to make sure things aren't drying out. So all I've been wanting to do, and I've tried a couple of different systems where I didn't get it tuned in right and that sort of thing. We're getting timers and making sure that I had a drip system and things going around, but you can't get to everything either when it comes to all of that, especially with as much as I grow as well too. So I still got to be out there hand watering anyways. But
and think of what happens when you hand water. You're looking at every single thing. Bugs. What's coming in, what needs to be replaced. It's actually beneficial to be in the garden with that water.
Totally. Exactly. Right now I'm hand watering every single seedling one by one.
Yeah, I mean, it's true, but it's also stressful. knowing about timing and making sure you're working the right time management to make sure you're doing that during that time, because I totally agree. I like getting around the garden. I like getting my eyes on everything and seeing what's going on, that sort of thing. But at the same time, if I'm having a busy week, and it's we're in those high temperatures in the summertime, I'm stressing out making sure I'm trying to get out there and things are watered without having some sort of issue. And the worst thing is something drying out. And just,
have you ever used shade cloth in your garden
I do use that for some areas and some things that I do. Yeah, I've got a rooftop garden as well too. You think rooftops are great, it's on it's a carport rooftop. It's not, great space. We got some pepper plants up there. It's got back up there this last year and everything. So I use a shade cloth up there because it's just wide open too. You think full sun can be really
it would
tough
dry fast. Yeah,
dry fast, and then you get in, especially the intensity of the heat and the sun on hotter days during the midday and all that. It's good to have that shade cloth for sure.
Julia, since we're talking about watering, what's your mulch choice that you go with?
I do straw. So I have I use a cut straw. Here in Canada, it's called Straw Boss. I really recommend it. There's no seeds in it. It's really clean, and it comes in a shrink wrapped, like a 3 cubic foot bale. And so I use that, and I also use like mulched leaves as well that I collect. And also grass clippings. If there are no seeds in the grass clippings, like regularly cut grass doesn't have seeds in it, so that one too I do collect, and then I could use that as well in the garden. So any of those things.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you use?
So, well, it's kind of changed over the years. So now in my perennial areas, if you ever heard of like the grocery row garden or just like a guild, that's where I use those wood chips as a mulch, and I've really enjoyed having that. But in the annual beds, there's a garden that's shaded and the garden that's full sun. I've started last year doing grass clippings because there is a lot of grass out at this property, and it's a chore that my kids are really good at, raking up the dried grass, and we bucket it over to the pathways. That actually worked out really well. And now we also have the leaves we've saved. I've got them in a nice pile, and they didn't all blow away because we do get 40 to 70 mile an hour winds out there. And so we're going to see if we've saved enough for that. I'm trying to kind of grow like a cover. I'm doing buckwheat this year just to get it out. I'm going to do buckwheat. Normally I do it in the fall for a cover crop and then it winter kills. But what I'm going to do is grow it up till flower, which can be 30 days. And then I'm going to cut it and stomp on it to terminate it. And then now I have like this mulch that I grew because I can't source yet an organic straw. And then I went to Epic Gardening, to buy a box of straw from them. That certified organic is $40 per box. And I have way too much land for that, for it to blow away. So I'm trying all kinds of things, growing my own, using what nature has. We want that closed loop, of course.
So I guess
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No.
I think I froze there a second ago.
Did we freeze? Are we freezing here? I don't know.
Could be me too. Another thing you could do, what I do is in the fall when the garden is done, I cut everything. I don't throw. When I cut down my plants, I cut them up and I put them down on the soil, and that's my mulch too, and that works really well. All my bean plants, my pea plants, I just cut them above the soil line, leave the roots in the ground, and then I chop that up and I lay that down. I did that for like Swiss chard, rhubarb leaves. I do that with them. Literally anything, like any plant. I grew lemongrass last year, whatever I didn't use, I chop that, I put that on the ground. So you can use any of your old plant material, makes a really good mulch, and it's organic because you grew it and it's easy.
Yeah, like we did a marigold hedge over the one garden, and we were just stepping on it today to kind of break it up because it's pretty large pieces, and we know that when it's smaller it breaks down faster. Yep.
So.
Excellent. Right on. So tell us a little bit about what you guys have got growing on. Anything you're kind of working on that's new or different this season in your gardens? How about for you, Julia? You got anything going on that's... I mean, I know you've been gardening a while, it's hard to find things that are kind of new sometimes, right? But
yeah, so I only grow what we eat. So I've grown everything, all the gimmicky things too, and all the the cool veggies that people want to try. I've tried everything. Pretty much. I think bitter melon is probably the only thing I haven't grown, but I've grown everything else. And so now I no longer grow things that we don't eat. So I grow like all the things to supply the pantry. So that is all standard, like all the alliums, you know, garlic, potatoes, carrots, beets for the season. And then I grow tomatoes, squashes. I still have lots of pumpkins. They're still good. And then with the reno that we're doing, so that'll be interesting. A lot more flowers in the new section. I have garlic coming up already. I grow a lot of garlic every year. I used to grow about 500 a year, but this year I've got about 250, I think. To the point now where garlic comes up by itself. I don't know how that happened, but I do have garlic that just pops up throughout the garden. So last year I probably had 130.
A good problem to have.
Yeah. Probably 130 spares last year, in addition to the ones I planted.
Wow.
So what do you do with that? Do you give it away, or?
So I replant my own supply every year. It's all this. I've been growing the same supply since 2015. So they just keep replanting the biggest. And so it's a Russian rocambole type. They're really nice. And then the rest, we eat. I make powder. I make a lot of powders. So I do that too with like the green garlic. You know, the escapes. I make garlic powder from that too. Whatever's left over, I
hadn't thought about making garlic powder from the scapes before.
Can you hear me now?
little lulls and that sort of
so
thing.
I make
right.
whatever's your little lulls. So all the leftover garlic, I make powder with it, basically. So nothing really goes to waste. Yeah.
Let's see here. Wickershire Project is in. Has anyone ever grown bamboo?
No.
I don't think it grows here.
I had a friend who had a problem with him and his neighbor because of bamboo that his neighbor was growing. That ultimately my friend was growing too, because it just spreads and spreads and spreads. It can be very invasive in some areas. Some of the places it's not as much. I know, like if you're like down in the South in Arizona and all of that, in those places, I don't think doesn't spread as well. But it's it's cool. I love bamboo. I think bamboo is cool. I'd love to go to a bamboo forest.
It'd be cool to grow your own, right? And harvest your own bamboos.
Yeah.
I don't think it grows here in the north. I've never seen it in our area. I'm also I'm 5B. Yeah, I don't think it grows here in Ontario.
No, but good things grow in Ontario.
That's a commercial.
Yeah, it's like the slogan, right? I don't know. So do you have any
choose well the variety? Yeah. So I'm supposed about different varieties would be spread different than others, but yeah.
Being in Ontario with the cold weather, what's something that you wish you could grow but you can't because of the climate?
I wish I could grow tropical fruit. That's what I wish I could grow. Like I wish I could have passion fruit. That's my favorite. And I that's something that I don't think I could even successfully indoors. I'm not successful at growing citrus indoors either. I've tried that.
I've seen, I have a friend that's an indoor gardener, and he successfully grew a passion fruit. He's in Connecticut, which is kind of similar weather to us, I think. But he has an indoor garden, and he successfully grew a passion fruit. So I think it could be possible given the right environment, but yeah, you could try it indoors and see.
But you only get one. You know, my dream is to go outside and just harvest guavas and passion fruits and bananas. And I live in the wrong climate. That would be my dream.
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to have like a conservatory that's heated. If you had a properly heated greenhouse, then you could grow them indoors and have a tree, right?
But they used to call orangeries.
Orangeries, that's right.
Orangeries. Yeah.
Go somewhere tropical, have a second property.
That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we need.
Yeah,
that's the dream right there. That would be the way to go.
When we were talking to Andre the farmer, he was telling us that he had a second property in Mexico, and so he's got kind of the best of both worlds. You know, it's a cool thing to have.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Citrus can do dwarf, lemon, or kumquat. Cool.
Yeah. I'm trying again my hands at doing some lemons this year. I got a lemon tree, Eureka lemon tree from a friend this last year. So I've kept it alive during the winter time. So far, so good. So I just got to make sure. I haven't tried since I really had a hard time with a tree several years ago that I tried growing. And yeah, again, it's the maintenance and the taking care of it through the winter time to make sure, you can get it through some of the colder parts of winter and all of that. But yeah, I'm trying my hands at it again. So let's see how it goes. Lemons should work out okay.
I grew a lime tree a few years ago, and then I did get, I think, 1 or 2 fruit, but then the plant got scale, and once I get scale indoors, it's gone. I'm not even going to try to rescue. They're disgusting, right? If you've ever seen them. So that's it. I don't bother. I'll just go buy some organic lemons and limes from the grocery store at that point. But the scale it's the indoor pests that really they can all stay outside, but once they're in the house, I just can't.
That's the big challenge is again too, like they get the little spider mites.
Yes.
All sorts of things can get and attack these citrus trees throughout the winter time, and so you just got to be able to get through that part of the challenge of doing it if you're bringing them indoors and whatnot, like I've been doing with the ones I have. But until I guess it gets to be a certain size, and I'm gonna have to figure out some sort of strategy for outdoors
lighting, and then you need to have the proper humidity, and you need to have the proper heat if you want to do it indoors, proper watering, all of it. So
yep. So all those sort of things to go. But again, a lemon should be able to be good. It should withstand some pretty cold winters here when it comes down to it. But I really want to do the oranges and the other great stuff as well too. That would be awesome.
It'd be amazing.
I just don't know if I can do it.
Try it. You don't know if you don't try.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have tried. I failed and tried, but I could need to retry.
We'll try again.
Give it another try.
Use the mistakes.
I'm starting with the lemons
as learning.
And if I'm really successful with this and doing all right and everything, we get it going good, then maybe I'll expand out to some or a good like colder hardy orange if I can find one.
Yeah.
What zone are you in? What's
the zone? The zone is actually 8B.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So it's pretty good, but it's still, it still gets too cold sometimes for a lot of the orange varieties.
I always forget what zone I'm in, so I find myself Googling it again because I always forget.
If you're near Toronto, you're probably at least a 6A.
6A or 5B.
I'm 5B. I'm 5B.
Yeah, so I'm in between the two.
But that's US to Canadian is not the same. We're not equivalent. So our 5B would be your 4B in the US, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys do it just a little different then.
Just a little different. Yeah.
All I know is it's cold and I'm unhappy about it. I'm ready to start my garden. But also, I mean, you deal with the same thing, Shawnee. It's not like it's tropical weather in Minnesota. So
you're all in colder regions.
What's something you're dying to grow that you just can't in your climate? What's
the list of, if I could, I had to think about this the other day with Robin Gardens because we did a Roots and Rambles, and then this question came up. So I thought about it on what we actually would use, and my list is green tea, black tea, because I think that would be really cool. Vanilla beans, because I already know how to make the extract if I could have the bean. I think it would be beneficial to have. And then we eat a lot of grapefruit and bananas. And I said those things because, like you guys were talking about, container citrus isn't completely unattainable. If I had a solarium like we're talking about, I could have a Meyer lemon, and is it the key lime has a miniature dwarf, and I think a Satsuma orange. Like there's a secret list somewhere if someone wants to like pay for all that. We would have our own container citrus going. So that's down the road, maybe we'll get into that. But yeah, for sure that was my list of if we could magically make those work here. I would want to try that for sure. The list I said.
To your green tea and black tea, that's the same plant as the Camellia sinensis. I wrote about that in my book. You just need one plant, And whether you get black tea or green tea, it's based on when you harvest it and how you process it.
Okay.
But it's one leaf. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the book, I
yeah.
talk about how to grow it. So
See,
you
yeah,
would
we need
need
to
to
get tea
have
tea gardening for beginners.
yeah, you need heat and humidity. It grows really well in like China, for example, somewhere where it's warm and humid. If you want to grow it indoors, you grow it as a house plant. If you lived in California, you could grow it. If you lived in the UK, some places you could grow it too. They grow Camellia sinensis, but you'd have to bring it indoors in the winter there. They cannot handle any frost.
Right.
So, and it likes humidity and heat. So you'd have to have that warm, humid solarium if you wanted to bring it indoors for the winter.
Yeah.
Wow,
Or can get tea scale also.
Oh God, more scale. Oh,
Scale's disgusting.
Scale.
Oh, it's just a nasty thing.
Earlier on in the conversation, you showed us and talked a little bit about your book. You're a published author. So for those of us that aren't familiar, why don't you tell us a little bit, what is the book about? What's the focus? And what motivated you to write it?
Well, I was approached by a publisher to write about this topic. They asked me if I would do that. Yeah, so I wanted to write a book. I always did. And I had already been growing. They had seen that I was growing tea ingredients in my garden. So they asked me to write a book on this, and I did. So they published it. The book is about how to grow your own tea, but as well like how to blend it as well and make your own, tea blends, and how they're like what they're good, like what their flavors are and like their health benefits. But it's also like the difference between a Camellia sinensis plant, which has caffeine, so black, green, oolong, and white tea is all from one plant, and that's a caffeine plant, that's true tea. And then all non-true tea is known as a tisane, and that's herbal basically, or it's caffeine free. And so in the book I have like how to grow tea, and then how to grow non-caffeine tea, which is tisane. And I cover fruits, leaves, roots, seeds, flowers, and all the different things that can be grown for tea ingredients, and their flavors and their health benefits, how to grow them. There's some garden design ideas, and then how to blend your own creations. So all that's in that book.
So what is it about tea that particularly piqued your interest in the beginning? Like what made you want to grow tea ingredients?
So it was COVID, and I didn't want to go to the grocery store, and I was already growing many ingredients in the garden for tea that I could harvest. And like I had been growing mint and chamomile and calendula and different basils for tea. And so I thought, well, what else can I grow? So instead of me going to the store, what else can I add to that? So I grew hibiscus, which is the roselle, which makes your tea red. It has like a tangy flavor. It's really delicious in a lot of herbal blends. I started growing that. I grow ginger. I grow different fruits. Many leaves like berries can be used for tea. So I just started doing research, like what else can I grow? Just because I wanted that self-sufficiency and that freedom from having to go to the grocery store. And then that's how it all started. Just the more I can pack into my garden, the more freedom I'll have from having to go to the grocery store during a crazy time. So
that's so awesome. I love that. And what's the most unusual in your entire book? What's the most, without giving too much away, what's the most unusual ingredient you've grown for your tea that readers or people are like, never would have considered that for tea?
Well, like catnip and all that, those are all teas. But I love like black currant leaves in tea. If you pick a black currant leaf in the spring, it smells like black currant. It tastes like black currant without being a black currant. So things like that, wild strawberry, and including the like alpine strawberry, and the flowers are really good for tea. What else? Ginger, for tea. I love holy basil. Holy basil is amazing for tea. It's on its own or blended with something else. Holy basil. I grow it every year. The pollinators adore it because it's a member of the basil family, but it's not the same basil as the culinary basil. It's used differently, and you let it go to seed, as opposed to like culinary basil. You're always pruning back because you don't want it to bolt. You want holy basil to bolt, to become like really bushy, and they have these like many spikes of flowers that are like hundreds of flowers per spike, and all the pollinators go to it. And then you can cut it down midway in the summer, it'll regrow again, it'll flower again. And so right to frost, it's feeding pollinators. Smells great, whether you want to harvest it or just leave it, whatever it is, like it's just such a focal point in the garden and provides so much food to pollinators. And it smells great just walking past it. So probably of all of them, holy basil is probably my favorite of all of them.
I recently acquired seeds for that, so I'm gonna have to try growing it. I've never heard of it or grown it until I got the seeds, so I'll have to try that.
Some cultures use it in cooking. I think like I'm not sure if it's like Thai food or Vietnamese food that they use holy basil, but I just use it strictly for tea. So you would harvest the leaves and then, you know, the flowers while they're still purple. But start them a little earlier than you would start regular basil, just to give them like 6 weeks before the final frost date. Start them then and give them that extra time to grow. And they are better to grow individually. So you can I multi-sow everything, but then I prick them out one per cell so they have space.
That's a great tip. I love that. And just, I mean, the conversation isn't over yet, but since we're on the topic of your book, where can people find your book?
So it used to be at Chapters, which is our big bookstore here in Canada.
That's a big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Exciting.
But
Wow.
you can find it on Amazon, and it's also on Audible.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't narrate it, but it's on Audible as well as Amazon. I'm not even sure if it's on. It could be on Kindle Unlimited as well, or maybe not. I'll have to check.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and probably somewhere they can find it through your website as well too. That I believe we got a link for down below in the description, so folks can find that there. But yeah, definitely. I haven't really, I'm sure there's plenty of things I could make tea that's out there in the garden that's growing right now, but I never think about doing that. I should get some things and start making some teas out of the garden. So I'd definitely be a beginner at it.
Your lemon peel would be great. You can use lemon peel. So you get some organic lemons, squeeze them, keep the skin, chop it up, dehydrate it, and make blends with that. Add it to black tea or mint tea. You can add lemon peel, and it'd be amazing as a blend.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Orange peel, the same thing.
Yeah, that is a great idea. I've done that before with lemon, just taking a little bit of the rind and just adding it to my tea.
Yeah. Works great.
And what about you, Shawnee? Do you grow or make any kind of tea things with
tea concoctions you make out of anything?
I really like tea. It's what we do in the winters. We drink tea all winter, right? The hot beverages. So I'm always expanding the plants for that. Like this year, because I like iced basil tea, since we're on the topic. So I picked up lime basil, lemon basil, cinnamon basil to try this year to make the iced tea with, because I think it's really yummy, and you can keep it ready in the fridge, and then I can just grab and go, because again, I garden away from home, so I need to pack all my yummy beverages and snacks with me if we're going to have a salad out there, that kind of thing. The perennials provide tea leaves, like I'm sure her book covers, the raspberry leaf. I would love to get a patch of stinging nettle going, but I have to agree with the property owner on it. And I have children, because we use, there's a Lakota woman who owns a business in Minnesota. It's called Lakota Made, and she'll ship to you. And so I buy a lot of her loose tea blends in big bags. And so the one that I love every month, it has rose petals and calendula and stinging nettle. And it has, it's that kind of blend, the raspberry leaves. So I know I like that one. So now let's grow those things and make it myself, so I don't have to get it shipped in, right? So just those examples of finding what I like. I'd love to get my hands on an apple mint and try that for tea making.
So good. It's so good.
That's what I hear. I hear like that kids like it. And then exploring with outside of leaves, like you said, there's flowers, there's barks, there's roots. I love a dandelion root tea. So now I'm going to try a blend. Like I bought a blend. It's chicory and cardamom seeds. I mean, even just growing fennel seeds and having fennel, because tea is medicine, food is medicine. So once you learn like all the things that they can do to your body, then you put them out in your garden and you have them there. So that's on my list. Yeah.
Dandelion flowers, when you dry them, they taste like honey. So I know that you guys showed that clip about making dandelion jelly, but the flowers themselves are really sweet. So if you dry them and then later on use them for tea by themselves or in a blend, they add that sweet honey taste to a tea blend. They're really nice.
So, Julia, I have to ask you this. You know how you get a bunch of seeds for the dandelion? Have you ever taken the seeds and then planted them densely for microgreens and had a bitter green microgreen?
I have not, because we have so many dandelions here that I never thought to do that, but it's definitely a good option for sure.
I was going to try it this year to see if I could
and
tolerate it. Yeah, it's bitter, right?
I was going to say, if you go 15 minutes away, why don't you bring some water with you and make sun tea? You can just pick what you need in the garden and just like put it in your pitcher, let the sun heat it and make a sun tea, and it'll be like a nice mild tea. It's not in my book. I didn't write about sun tea, but sun tea is another way to blend it. Yeah.
This is a green room exclusive.
That's right. That's right.
You heard it here first, people.
Save it for the update too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, she'll write another book. That's how it goes, right, everybody?
Yeah.
But you can put all those things you said, including, like, I've made sun tea with strawberries and basil before. It's really nice in the sun. Or even lemons, like lemon slices in your water, and you just put it in the sun, put some mint leaves into it and make a really nice sun tea. And while you're working, it'll just like brew itself in the sun, as long as like you don't leave it for days, right? You got to drink it because it'll spoil. But if it's fresh, it's great.
Yeah, there's rules with how long you're supposed to leave it out there. We keep a case of mason jars out there, and I can do 3 hours of garden work before my body says, why are we doing this? 3 hours is my day's work.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. And I've grown cinnamon basil for tea. It was in one of my talks. I show pictures of it, and it tastes like cinnamon. It's got a basil-y cinnamon flavor to it. It's definitely a nice. It's a good choice. I wouldn't use it for cooking because it's a weird flavor, but it's really great for just the herb itself. And there are a lot of thymes that are really great that I buy here. And you can try, like, if you go to Richter's Herbs, you could see they have like different kinds of thymes that don't taste like thyme that I use for tea, like rose thyme, which is a really nice thyme that it's a black tea to me, even though it's just a pure herb.
Because I usually hear about lemon thyme, which makes sense. Anything
Hello?
lemon. Are you back?
Yeah. It kind of gets you there just a little bit. It just kind of slows you down a little bit, but that's all right.
So you said rose
I think we got
thyme.
enough of it. We got enough of it.
Oh. Time is freezing.
Right? Yeah. Time is freezing. Yeah.
Have orange petal.
That's great. The fun of live streaming, though, too. Especially at 4 different places. Right. Yes, every now and then, someone's connection isn't going to be quite that right, but
that's technology.
It's okay.
Well,
it's
I live in the
country,
so
just the way it works.
Yeah,
it's okay. We're just glad you're here. It's all good.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's, with technology, that's the way things are. We were talking about automation, and, even though it has its benefits, things can go wrong when you rely on technology for your garden, especially. It's a scary thing.
Right. So by hand, is safer, at least, what's going on.
Yeah, going back to that conversation as well, too. Yeah, as much as I would like to have an automated system and everything, too, that would be the next, like to relieve me of the worry of whether or not I'm gonna things are getting but if if you go and you rely on it and you walk away for a while and find something breaks or busts or or something pops out wrong and messes everything up and you don't know about it, so it's automation can not be, as far as that goes in our garden, can also cause some real issues for sure.
So many times I've caught problems just by hand watering and just like spending time, like Shawnee mentioned, just spending time with plants, just the beginning of an infestation. I was able to catch something, in my garden that I was and then it stopped it. Had I been away or relied on irrigation, I would miss outbreaks of things. So I was able to have more control by just seeing it this is now happening here, and take charge and do something about it.
Yeah, it's definitely easier to catch things. With everything automated, I just never sleep anymore. It defeats the purpose of automation.
Right.
You know, 'cause I'm hands
Yeah.
off, but my mind is always on.
Right.
Exactly, huh? Excellent. So again, how or what are we planning on for your upcoming garden and all of that this year? I mean, we're kind of getting down to our last few minutes here and all of that. So let's kind of talk about what we got coming up here and growing this year and all of that. Is there something that's particularly exciting you about what you've got growing on in your garden this year, Shawnee?
Okay, so I found I'll make it quick. There's a nursery near me that I've never been
It's
to,
all
and I've
right.
been emailing them, and I'm gonna fill the van, okay? We've got aronia berries coming, serviceberry, all the currants, all the colors, the gooseberries, the Nanking
Oh
cherries.
my
If I can
gosh.
get witch hazel, I want witch hazel. So that's the perennial
I
list this
love it.
year, right? Then I wanna go with North Spore and get me some, let's see, oyster, wine cap, lion's mane going out
Wow.
at the garden property because then we'll have like that
Wow,
mushroom food, which my
for
husband
sure.
really enjoys. I'm trying a new winter squash called Thelma Sanders. It's a acorn shape and supposedly it grows really well here and stores really well. And we need that when there's 6 months of no growing. We're trying all kinds of experiments like planting. We broadcasted mustard seed out the other day and we're going to let that grow up and plant all the squash and pumpkins in that and then chop that down to maybe confuse the squash vine borer from going in there. We'll see if it helps. There's all kinds of little experiments that we're going to be doing. So
You got a lot. You're gonna have your hands full.
That's
I have all
right.
winter to think about it. So here we
I
go.
like it.
Yeah.
Jay drops in there, says, "You asked."
Yeah, I was gonna say, you start, we asked.
I love it, man. What
Open the
a
can of worms.
That's right. What a just a bunch of just really just awesome, cool things. Loading up the van, right? Huh?
Oh yeah, I'm loading it up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How about for you, Julia?
So the expansion or the reno is happening.
Yeah,
So I'm not
yeah.
quite sure yet what's going to go in there. I do want to try blueberries this year. I haven't had them, and I think if I can keep them to one of the new raised beds and just control that soil, then maybe I'll have some success because I don't have acidic soil here. So I'm going to have to work on that and do some research. So I'd like to try some blueberries. But to your squash vine borer, if you want a tip for avoiding them from your garden and the cucumber beetles, I have one for you. If you want to, if you
Ooh.
Is
want
it about
that.
the cucurbita machata?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So I never had a problem. Probably didn't have a problem for 10 years, 9 years, never in my garden. And I thought, oh, well, like I used to co-plant radishes. I tried co-planting or companion planting. I don't believe in it. It doesn't work. I find that to be a myth. I find that flowers with plants or crops work because they encourage pollinators. So that really works. But in terms of something deterring something, I've never found that to work. So I thought the radishes were keeping the cucumber beetles and squash bugs away. They weren't until one day they arrived. It was COVID, and I had an infestation. And then the next year, they came out even earlier. So I avoided growing them for 2 years in order to get them out of my garden because I figured once the eggs will hatch, they will be there. I'm not going to provide any food for them. They're going to have to go away. So they did. And then I waited and I planted all my cucurbits in July, all of them, the whole lot, like including the long day pumpkins, like the late to harvest. And I didn't have any cucumber beetles. So 2 years in a row, no cucumber beetles, no squash bugs, no squash vine borers, nothing. And it's because they emerge in the garden in spring. And if there's food for them, they will feast, lay their eggs, be born again, start their cycle again, and then there they are in your garden. But if you don't give them food, when they emerge, there's no food, they go away, then you plant, they're not there, and you just have a normal season. So I've had so much success.
Defeating the life cycle.
Yeah, you gotta break the life cycle.
So our final frost date is around June 1st. That's when I start all my cucurbits indoors. A month later, I plant out plants that are flowering. They're all ready to go. I put them in the garden and they start growing. And I have so much crop that I can't keep up with it. Cucumbers, zucchini, squashes, pumpkins, everything.
When do you get your first frost?
October 1st, approximately. Could be October 8th.
Okay, that's around
somewhere
mine, October 4th, because I was like, is it enough time?
Yeah, and like I have Musc de Provence pumpkins sitting here beside me that are still perfect. They take a long time to ripen. I harvested them just when they have a yellow patch on them and the rest of them are green. They ripened inside because they were hard when I harvested them, and they never rotted, and they're perfect. They're still good all this time. I have tromboncino squash that I had so much.
I was just going to say, we had a comment that came in.
I don't know if I'll ever. Oh, have you tried tromboncino squash? Yes.
Oh, that's so funny.
That's I'm looking at them. They're all on my shelf, and they're still perfect. And again, like no trouble. They ripened indoors. They're hard as rocks. They're like butternuts when they're fully ripe. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, to avoid it, because I find that the smell, they don't have a nose, so they can't smell those bugs. And so if you just avoid that, like if you just wait, they will
the life cycle of when they come. I've heard that, and I've always questioned if I had time, so it's cool that you're like, well, you do.
And
or if you're getting the timing right,
June 1st,
I'm just gonna start them in the house. I have a grow station, so
so June 1st I start them. I put them in my greenhouse, which is nice and hot. They don't go in there. And then July 1st, I put them out. And the reason that worked, and the reason I found it to work, is I love garden experiments. The one year that I was infested, in July, some cucumbers started growing out of my compost bin. But by that point, they weren't really active in the garden, and they didn't have any squash bugs on them, no cucumber beetles, nothing. So I was like, and I had a great harvest from the compost bin. So I thought, well, that I always do. Every year some surprise comes out of them. But that's how I figured it out. And then after that, I started growing them when I do, and I've been good 2 years. So hopefully I'm onto something. But that's what's really worked. So
cool. Yeah, I think
I don't net them. And I don't net them. I do nothing. I just grow them like a normal, so hopefully that some people here that are watching try that.
Yeah, great tip.
Vine borers are I hear about that more than almost any pest. They used to give me a heart attack.
I would see them in the garden fly, and I would start to shake because you can't catch them. They're so fast, right? Any other pest you can't. That one I would
oh my.
That's it. It's over. It's over. It's over.
Well, you perform surgery after that. You just know I'm gonna have to cut stuff up and bury it.
And then you see them in there, and they're disgusting. That's like scale for me. Like
it's
I just want to get
gross.
rid of the whole plant.
So glad I don't have to deal with them. I still got the squash. I still get the squash, like the leaf-footed squash bugs, though. But I don't get the vine borer. So, or I haven't seen one, anyways. But yeah, crazy. All right, real quick here. I'm going to finish up with this final question coming from the audience member. Serena is asking, what forms of regenerative agriculture do you do, if any? So let's throw this at you. Regenerative agriculture, Shawnee.
Yeah, I did cover cropping. It was a mix. Let's see. It was buckwheat, oats. What was the other thing? It was clover. So then that was winter killed. And then we started a new garden. Like that was year one. Year two, we actually put plants in it. So that's like when you actually have a long-term plan. We grew white Dutch clover as a ground cover in a watermelon patch. So that worked really well. We are always using our Comfrey Backing 14 to make different liquid fertilizers or just chopping and dropping. And we're going to experiment more as we go with all kinds of regenerative things. We're going to try a micro pack AEA product this year. So if you're familiar with John Kempf, that's where I heard about that. So we'll see where that brings the garden this year for health. We're going to do foliar feeding with that.
Yeah. You practice regenerative forms of agriculture in your garden too, Julia, right?
I've done the buckwheat before, just because I wanted a cover crop, but I don't do anything like that. I mulch my gardens for the fall, whichever ones I can, with the material the dead plant material that I cut down. I lay that. I'm not sure if that's the same kind of thing, but yeah, no. Other than that, not anything like that in my garden, because it's hard. It would be hard for me to cut something down, turn something in my beds, because I don't dig. So other than just cut and drop, other than that, I don't know.
Excellent. Right on. Well, again, I just always so surprised when I look at the time clock going, oh my gosh, the time is flying by. We've already been chatting for so long already, and it's hard to believe. But no, really appreciate you two taking the time to come and hang out with us here for the green room and talking all about your gardens and all of that with us and sharing with us tonight. It's just been really
Thank
awesome
you.
to have you here with us today.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
for taking the time. And for everybody watching, where can everybody find you both? We'll start with you, Julia. Where can everybody find you if they want to find you on social media or find your book?
So I'm on Instagram at Julia Dimakos. You can find me there, and I post most frequently on there. I do have a YouTube channel, but I haven't really posted any real videos. I do some shorts from time to time, but not a lot there. And on my website, juliadimakos.com, you can find me there. I'm on Facebook too, but again, it's mostly to share from Instagram to my Facebook. But you can find me, Julia Dimakos Gardening Girl.
All right, great. Instagram. And what about yourself, Shawnee?
I am just on YouTube because I'm not learning any more things. It is at Shawnee Grows. I do. It's been Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central Time has kind of been the time that I've had to go live. This week we might just show off the indoor grow station, what plants are going. We'll see what we talk about, and then there'll be a video out this week too on what the April garden looks like right now.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Come on over.
Absolutely. Yeah, and definitely for everybody. Yeah, not as far away as I am. So yeah, definitely do that. But also, everyone, we do have links down below so you can find them nice and easily and go check out what they've got growing on. And we always love it when you go show support to our guests here on the Let's Get Growing show. Go over and check out what they've got growing on. Leave them a comment and let them know that you saw them here on the green room with us here. So I love it when you all do that. So again, thank you too so much for being here with us tonight. It was just really awesome to hang out with you and share in our gardens for the evening. It's just really great.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you both.
Absolutely. We'll be right back here. Just one moment. Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible featured visits. All right, there we are. Another great, awesome conversation in the books here on the green room. How about that? Julia Dimakos, the gardening girl, along with our very own Shawnee Grows from our Grow What You Eat segment. Awesome.
Always a great conversation. I had so much fun, and it's always nice chatting with fellow Canadians because I guess I don't feel so alone about the weather now, which is nice. I mean, I know Shawnee has similar weather too, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Again, too. Yeah, great to have fellow Canadians here on the show to hang out and all of that. And it's great to have all of you all with us here tonight as well, too. And this is normally the part of the show where I kind of run down and let you know about what we've got coming up on the show. But we're going to have a couple of weeks of just kind of hanging out and doing that sort of stuff. We're going to have some, we will definitely have a couple of new guests for us here on the green room this next Monday. You'll just have to kind of keep an eye on this space and see who we've got. I'm just waiting on a confirmation, and then we should be all set to go and all of that too for our conversation for next Monday night as well. So what all do you have going on over at the Fresh Princess?
Big week. We're upgrading the electrical in the grow tent, and at the end of the week, start bringing equipment back in, changing the setup, and in 2 Mondays from now, we're ready to rock and roll. So I
2
got a lot of
Mondays, huh?
to do.
Only 2 Mondays to go?
And I'm building my flower beds and,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
outdoors getting the upgrade as
That's
well.
what I say. Tell me just a little quick here, a little bit more about the outdoor space, because this is getting
Yeah,
exciting
so
now.
I had for the last 2 years, I've had a bed that I dug just in ground with a little retaining wall, 9 feet by 4 feet. And rather than just keeping it that way, I decided to upgrade. So I bought so I bought 3 raised beds total. So
Mhm.
I'm going to change the 9 by 4 to an 8 by 4. So now I'm going to have 3 8 by 4 by 2 beds.
Yeah.
And they're nice. They're sharp looking too. So with my flowers and everything, it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to turn my backyard into a flower farm.
There you
Maybe
go.
I was thinking, maybe try to, if my flowers work out, get in at the farmer's market or something.
Yeah, yeah. Try your
Yeah.
hand at doing something like that. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah. I
cut
mean, I do it
flower
every summer.
stand.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do it
yeah.
every summer, not at the farmer's market, but I mean, I grow nice flowers and I give them away. So if I'm successful this year,
Little combo, the Fresh Princess kinda promo table with some
yeah.
cut flowers on the side folks
Exactly.
can
It's
buy.
all about gardening, right? Any type
That's
of
right.
gardening, just grow. That's it.
Yeah, I
So
love it.
that's what's going
Love
on
it.
this week. It's a whole lot of things happening, both outdoor and indoor. What about you?
Oh, again, more of the same now. Again, I'm just kinda keeping an eye on whether or not I'm gonna get some of this stuff going, and transplanted outdoors, start hardening some things off, and, go through that process. So maybe I'll get started with that at some point through it towards the end of this week coming up, and, so things will be starting to progress towards getting out into the gardening space. Few more things to finish up with the back patio and the rooftop space so that I can get ready again too for peppers that are going to be going out there. I got a bunch of those are all the transplant plants are kind of excited and ready to go. It's just kind of about waiting out the timing here to make sure that we can get them growing and getting them their best, most optimal start, and
Yeah.
and
It's all about
hopefully
the
we've
foundation.
avoided and we've got all this freezing and frost and all that sort of worries
I know.
behind us now. We can start really, really looking forward to what we can really be growing now. That'd just be really awesome.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to seeing an update. So
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So definitely come and join Natalie over at the Fresh Princess every day for live streams over at the Fresh Princess. And again, everybody, if you can too, real quick before you head out, go ahead and click the like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I can't believe you haven't if you haven't yet, but go ahead, subscribe, and bell notification. Notified of all of our upcoming live streams again too, so you can find out. Also, make sure you come and hang out with us for next Monday's live stream too. We're also, again, I do want to mention this, we are your 3-day gardening talk here on the Let's Get Growing show. We are here also Saturday and Sundays at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern here on the Urban Gardener channel. So definitely come and follow along with us as well here. And definitely follow all the links down below to all of our guests and all of our awesome contributors like Shawnee, our other guest, who was a contributor and a guest tonight. Go and show it and do that. Katrina from Sow and Tear. In fact, she's got a live stream I think she's right in the middle of. So if you guys want to keep up your live streaming or anything, go check out what she's got going on over there, and go check out Katrina over at Sow and Tear. But thanks everybody for being here. Thanks, Natalie.
yeah, thank you so much. And thank you to our guests and the chat.
Yeah, just another great evening with you again. Glad to be back at it here. We skipped a week, but we're right back at it.
Yeah.
And we'll see all of you this next week for another Green Room show right here on Monday evenings on the Urban Gardener channel. We'll see all of you then.
power out,